Hi everyone, it's Carrie Cudney back to show you square number 4 of the Every Last Detail tray. This one we'll do the background first and then we'll work on the cloud and the kite. And the product that we will be highlighting in this square is the Smooch Spritz spray. So let's get started with the background. The very first step is to take your Lucky Limeade piece of cardstock and kind of use a pencil to mark where the Daffodil Delight piece will go. I've left my pencil mark there so you can see, and then I've stamped on top of that. So just a little bit of the stamped polka dots from the borderline stamp set will show. Then you can set that part aside, and we're going to work on this shimmery piece of Pool Party. It's going to look like a sparkly cloudy sky for the kite to go in front of. And the way you create that is to start with your Pool Party cardstock, and you want to use just a little bit of water to wet it. This is just going to help you get more wrinkles and distressing. Kind of use your finger to get the water down into the fibers of the paper, and then just crinkle it. And the more wrinkles you have, the better it will look, because the Smooch Spritz spray will kind of soak into the crevices and the wrinkles and get even more sparkly. So you'll wrinkle it and distress it and then open it up. And now we're going to use the Smooch Spritz. We have 4 colors of Smooch Spritz. Today we're going to use the Vanilla Mist, which is this one. Before you use it, you do have to shake it, and several people actually recommend rolling it in your palms instead of shaking it upside down. Kind of the friction and the warmth from your hands help it get mixed up really well. And it prevents clogging because you're not shaking the shimmer up into the nozzle of the spray. So we'll just kind of roll that back and forth till I get it mixed up really well. And now it's time to spray. I am going to use the color catcher for this. So I'll bring this in. You can see that my color catcher is well used, but that's going to catch my spray. And I'm going to spray a lot of this on. I kind of want it to pool and, like I said, soak down into the little wrinkles and just give me a really pretty shimmer. The Smooch Spritz is one of my favorite products. You can't control where it goes. It's more designed to cover an entire piece of cardstock or your entire project. So if you want more precision, then use either the Smooch pearlized accent ink or the shimmer paint with the blender pen. Lots of people make their own shimmer mist, and you can do that by mixing a little bit of shimmer paint with some alcohol, or this is an old hand sanitizer that's made mostly of alcohol. And just to kind of compare and contrast the two, the homemade shimmer mist actually does give you a lot of shimmer, but I found that it rubs off quickly. So if you want your project to last longer, I would go with the Smooch Spritz. If you want the very most sparkle, but only for a short time, then go with the shimmer mist. That's just my opinion. You can see I've got that pretty shimmer on my cardstock. And then on this one that's already dry, I put some dimensionals. And I do want to use dimensionals so it will pop up off of the card, and you can really see. You don't want all those wrinkles to flatten out. So that's my background. For the cloud, I've set aside the largest cloud from the Merry Medley onboard sheet. This is the cloud that we punched out and used to stencil in the last square. And then I'm taking my piece of very vanilla cardstock, and with the dotted scallop ribbon punch, you need maybe 4 or 5 strips of the dotted border. And I took the file from my distressing toolkit and just kind of filed the edges to really distress them. Make them bend it up. It just shows the ruffles a little bit better if they're bent up and filed. So do that with all 4. And then you can see on this one that I've already adhered them to the cloud. And I just did the whole border, and then with your snips, just trim around. And I've also rubbed a little bit of the tea stain distressing ink on there. And that's all there is to the cloud. For the kite, I've punched out the small pennant from my Merry Medley onboard, and that's kind of going to be the base of my kite. It gives me something to glue the little pieces to. The pieces we're going to use are these 3 small pieces. that were in your kit, and you're just going to cut those diagonally. So I've got those already done here. And then this little piece that's left over from the roof of the birdhouse in square number 3. So just kind of position those how you want them. Let's see, we'll put this on this side, this one on this side, and then glue them down onto the piece of chipboard just as a base, like I've done here. So there's my kite. Now I'll bring in the finished square one more time so you can see how it all goes together. I've glued my kite here, and I have embellished it with a little ruffle, again from the dotted scallop ribbon punch, and a little paper daisy with a rhinestone. The baker's twine I've glued on with some of the liquid multi-purpose adhesive, and then just 2 knots of ribbon. And then I also did this cute little block. The little ledges on the squares just kind of screamed for something to sit on them. So there is a little wooden block included in your class kit. And I punched out the tiny heart from the Merry Medley onboard sheet and covered it with the Calypso Coral dotted paper. And you can see that little punched out flower as well. So it just gives a cute little decoration there in the corner. And that's all there is to square number 4. We'll see you back here for square number 5. Thanks, everyone.